No, it's not! Yes! It is! Stone Cold Steve Austin! Right down here in God bless Texas! The rattlesnake! Open up a can! This is an incredible moment! Michaels, Foley, Austin! Between 95 and 98, only two men won those four Royal Rumbles. It was those two right there to our right. Stone Cold went on to win another, a record 3-time Royal Rumble. And they're coming to the ring.
All right, everybody, welcome back. This is episode 4 of the Sleazy podcast, and I promised you guys that we would do a WrestleMania review, and I have DevStar here and Robert, or Rob, whatever the fuck you want to call him.
What's up?
And we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about NXT Takeover and WrestleMania. So pretty much WrestleMania weekend. But I mean, did you guys like the entire experience?
Oh yeah, it was awesome. Just from watching the NXT Takeover, saw the Wrestling Hall of Fame or the
Wrestling Hall of Fame was cool. Stinger got in this year.
Yeah, that was cool. Sting, Godfather, Big Boss Man, tribute to Big Boss Man.
Yeah, that was cool. Mm-hmm. Even though it looks like his daughters are not too far from him. But
yeah, not looking too
not
too
to be
healthy.
mean or anything, but and then Snoop Doggy Dogg got in.
Yep, as a celebrity Hall of Fame for that.
Snoop-a-loop.
Yeah. I mean, it's truly a fun weekend. I mean, I really enjoyed it. As bad of a weekend as I had that weekend.
It was, very rough. Yeah, rough Friday night when we watched NXT TakeOver.
NXT TakeOver definitely made up for it, and it was a great event.
Mm-hmm.
All the matches were really good at NXT TakeOver, and to be honest, I thought NXT TakeOver was just a notch ahead of WrestleMania.
I have to agree. Yeah. I have to agree. That's just all the matches are so amazing and well put together,
and not to mention we had the match of the year, Shinsuke. Is that his name?
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura premiered or made his debut in the WWE, and he's there now at NXT. And he squared off with Sami Zayn, and this was a very rough match. I mean, the Strong Style came out big time.
Yeah, he's known as King of the Strong Style in New Japan World Wrestling. And if you ever just go on YouTube and look at some of his matches, you can just tell how aggressive and strong style it is. And he was getting chanted before he was out there yet.
That was a wild crowd at NXT.
Very well. I mean, cussing, chanting. I mean, they knew what kind of match they're going to get. So.
And I heard he's kind of flamboyant, though, isn't he?
Yes,
very flamboyant.
But it doesn't mean it, like he's so hilarious. I don't even mind it.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to YouTube it, and just his entrance alone is like number one.
The best part, well, his entrance theme is number one on iTunes, and it's now available on iTunes, Spotify, and probably Amazon Prime and all that.
Which I have listened to many times already. The music.
Yeah, excellent.
And it's called The Rising Sun, in case anyone wants to look it up.
Yeah,
Rising Sun.
It's good. But the best part for me when in Shinsuke's entrance is when he runs into the ring and then he runs back to the ropes and does that like little back bend.
Like back bend, and everybody just loses.
Everybody goes nuts, dude. Yeah. They love it. But I mean, this was a great way to send Sami Zayn out of NXT and moving him up to the main roster.
Absolutely.
I mean, they both did a phenomenal job. I mean, match of the year, hands down.
Yeah, hands down. If you just go and look at it, and even if you're not a wrestling fan, go look at it, and you'll instantly become a wrestling fan or seeing those kind of fights and matches, and you'll definitely be very interested.
And I don't think there will be another match this year that the WWE or NXT will put on that will come close to that one.
No.
Unless Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor go at it, which they are.
Which is going to be highly probably the next thing.
I think closer to May, June, they'll probably get that match
right. And, in my personal opinion, I think Baylor will drop the title, and that way he can move up. And then since his two buddies, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, are there now, they'll form Bullet Club.
I told you what my theory was. That they're gonna do a whole mystery thing. Who's the leader of the Bullet Club? The Bullet Club will be there before he gets there,
right? Because
then you'll hear the demon music come on, and he'll come out with his jacket, and do the bang bang or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, if you happen to even follow Bullet Club, even AJ Styles was the leader, and Finn Balor was the leader before AJ Styles. So it kind of make you think, what route they're going to take and bring him back, or kind of what they're going to do with it.
So I think they have to let him beat that record first, though.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to get the record for holding the title
before he loses it.
Yeah, for the longest reign as an NXT champ, to beat out Neville.
What'd you think of
They can't let him go out before breaking that record.
So what'd you think of the Nakamura match?
I thought it was good. I only got to hit that one match, but that one match was pretty freaking sweet.
It was awesome.
I mean, yeah, it's like contender for match of the year. So
I thought the Samoa Joe and Finn Balor match was kind of lame, to be honest.
It was okay.
I felt like we'd seen that match like 80 times already.
Yeah, it was very similar to what they had done, but of course, it's all about Finn Balor and his entrance, and he came out in like the Texas Chainsaw kind of theme, which he always comes any kind of theme whenever it's the NXT takeover. So, but that was the highlight of it. But we've seen that match many times between him and Joe, and it's just getting a little stale now.
Yeah, I mean they need to move Nakamura into that area and get that going, and
Absolutely.
Get some fresh blood in there. Oh, and what's his face? Aries.
Austin Aries, made his debut against Baron
debut.
Corbin. If you don't know him, he was a big part of TNA, and he was awesome. He called the greatest man that's ever lived.
Right.
So he's pretty awesome. The match was okay, but I mean,
he's just okay. He doesn't do anything that kind of catches the eye.
He's a smaller guy, and he's facing Baron Corbin, who's like 6'6", 6'8", and he can't do half the stuff he's normally doing against the other small guys. So.
Your girl Asuka.
My girl Asuka, my wife, my dream woman.
She won.
She won. She beat Bayley. She you can say Bayley never tapped, but she passed out to the Asuka lock. But
right.
Still, I still think she's from that New Japan style where she's a hard hitting and kicks and just devastating in submissions.
Yeah, and she's hot too.
And very hot, yeah. Which is
that helps. Yeah. That helps move you
up
the ladder.
It's kind of where the outside
Bayley's
thong,
hot too.
Oh yeah. It's kind of where the outside thong that Asuka wears. With
that was kind of weird. The outside thong.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that, but we'll get over that. It's quite okay.
Yeah. No, we won't get over it because she's going to keep doing it.
Well, that's fine. I mean,
I don't need to get over it. I don't have a problem with it.
Oh, I don't either.
I'd rather see nothing under the thong, But
well, I prefer that too, but I don't think it's going to be allowed on TV. So.
Yeah. So we can move on to WrestleMania 32 now.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, I forget what it is, like the 5th highest grossing sports event of the.
Yeah. And it broke
it's
records.
up there.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah,
broke records in attendance. I think over 101,000.
Yeah, they broke the record.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's good. Which I mean, that's pretty hard not to do in the AT&T Stadium, Jerry's World, or whatever you want to call it. I didn't like the national anthem sung by that pop group.
Fifth Harmony.
Yeah, it
wasn't
good.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the Ray Charles at now to sing the national anthem?
Where's even the good talent to actually sing it? It's just like, who cares about Fifth Harmony?
Yeah.
Should have brought Snoop Dogg out, man.
I would have rather seen Snoop Dogg sing.
He should have.
The national anthem.
Since he's inducted in the Hall of Fame, would have been appropriate.
Yeah.
He came out there and
it's
did
pretty
that.
sad to rather see Snoop Dogg sing the national anthem than Fifth Harmony. So.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, I mean, it was a phenomenal facility for them to have it in. The stage looked great. I mean, the little thing they set up around, the ring and all that.
Even the entrances
Star
for all
designs.
the people was amazing.
I didn't get to catch too much of the pre-show because we were a little late going over to Dev Star's house, and they had Kalisto versus Ryback.
Correct.
Yeah.
Who wanted to see that match? I have no idea.
I know I did not want to see that at all.
It seems like the lower tier belts are kind of a joke anymore.
Right, and yeah.
I just thought it was funny that they started that match like way early. Like that first match started about an hour and a half before the actual show did.
And
I actually enjoyed the women's match that was a little bit after that.
Was it a 6-woman tag or a 5-woman
Yeah, it was
tag?
like Team Blonde or whatever, versus Team Divas or whatever.
Right.
And that was Brie Bella's last match, and she got to do the yes lock, and it was, it was a nice way for her to go out.
Yeah,
I thought they did her right.
Yeah.
Right. Send her off on a good note, and then of course Nikki Bella came out, but they had to sell it with the neck brace, and
why did she have to get into her attire and her neck brace?
Just to walk out? She could have walked out in normal clothes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess it's just I don't know. Sell it, I guess. I don't know.
I wonder if her career is going to be over with.
It's kind of up in the air. They are very worried about that she may not wrestle anymore. So it's kind of in the air right now because she had neck surgery. So.
Well, I'm sure she'll trick John Cena into having a kid.
Yeah.
She'll be set for
Yeah,
life.
she'll be set for. Yeah, she'll seal that deal. Yeah.
She'll have that John Cena money.
You get that John Cena money.
Don't trick John Cena. Don't trick my boy into leaving the WWE. He can't go anywhere.
He's making enough money being the face and getting the T-shirt sales and everything, so he's good. He's good for a while.
Yeah. So what was the worst possible match? I hate to start this off on a bad note, but let's just go ahead and get the worst match out of the way.
I would say the worst match was actually the Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar street fight. It's just I expect a lot more out of it, more aggressiveness out of it, or just more hardcore with it.
I felt like the no holds bar match that Dean Ambrose had with Kevin Owens a couple months back was way better than this.
Oh yeah, that was on Raw, wasn't it?
No, that was on Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
or was it Royal Rumble? No, was it Royal Rumble?
Maybe Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
maybe Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Right.
Or Fastlane.
But no, it wasn't Fastlane.
Oh.
I think it was Royal Rumble.
Right.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, because they hobbled out in pain.
Yeah.
So
he got into the Royal Rumble. Kevin Owens did, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's when AJ Styles he threw him out and did his little time.
That was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely hands down the worst match at WrestleMania. They hyped it up, and I really feel like they freaking dropped the ball this year. I mean, Roman had his main event last year, and they decided they didn't want him to win it, for whatever reason. But now all of a sudden you're gonna make him win it this year when the hot hands Dean Ambrose. I mean, the fans really want Dean Ambrose in there.
Yeah, and the fans are really pushing for Dean Ambrose, and I think me and you have had discussions, Sleazy, that he must have pissed someone off that he's on.
He's on the shit list big time.
Yeah, I mean, if you see some of those wrestlers who were hot and then all of a sudden they're losing matches nonstop, like he's losing at the pay-per-views all the time now with the feuds.
Right.
He must have pissed someone off to where like he's going to eat plates and plates of shit, in the words of Vince McMahon told Triple H one time. So
yeah,
is this the next CM Punk we could be seeing here?
I think so.
Yeah,
he's pushing. He's pushing big time, and even when the day comes, if they put the strap around him, he won't. He'll still have to prove himself.
Yeah.
And because he doesn't hold that physique that they want the main guy to have.
Right.
Like, honestly, I think what it comes down to is they think that kids don't want to look up to him because he doesn't hold that. Even though, like, Stone Cold was, a character similar to what Dean Ambrose was.
Right.
He had the physique.
Right.
Dean Ambrose just does. He's skinny, somewhat skinny.
Right.
He's cut, but...
Right. Well, Stone Cold had the appeal.
Yeah.
He had the appeal. He had the it thing.
Oh, well, the fans just got behind him. He was so popular, they had no choice.
They had no choice. And that's what it is with Dean. I mean, he has that fan support, but he just don't have that it factor. And I think the reason why I dislike that Brock Lesnar fight is just they make Brock Lesnar to be indestructible, and it's just he's so much bigger than Dean, and that's why they have to make it a street fight to give him an advantage.
Well, and it was like all the things that they had led up to, on the past, like Raw and SmackDown, all the gifts he was getting, he didn't even get to use any of them.
I mean, he's got a barbed wire baseball bat from Mick Foley, chainsaw from Terry Funk, and it's just like,
he pulls the chainsaw out and then he gets hit and you never see it again. I at least would have liked to have seen him try to hit somebody.
Yeah, at least try to hit somebody.
Nobody went through a table that match.
Surprisingly.
I mean, what were they thinking? I mean, I don't know if it's like Lesnar was like, well, I'm only doing this, this, and this. Because Ambrose doesn't care. He'll do whatever.
I've read some stuff how Brock is a very big prick. And it's just, he's... I guess I read an article that, his time, that he's used up most of his time that he has on his contract, and Vince is writing out paychecks. So I just don't... I think he does what he wants. He just does what he wants, and it's just wasn't a good match.
You have your Suplex City shirt on. You should have more of an opinion on this.
I know. I like seeing Brock Lesnar going out there and going at it, but like Rob said, I just... I agree with Rob. He's on his way out. He's been kind of a prick with the contract terms and all that. So
that's his deal.
Absolutely.
They sit down and they negotiate these things.
Yeah. And he's a huge draw.
It's not his fault that injuries happened and they had to have him come in and do certain shows and sell tickets. So, but I mean, at the same time, there's no reason why Vince can't sit down and say, hey, what's it going to take for you to do a couple more shows this year?
Right. Or even amp up the aggressiveness or the violence portion, just to do it. But
I see no reason for them to. If he's out of time, he's out of time. Let him go enjoy the rest of the year. But you've got enough talent on the undercard in NXT to bring up and start doing stuff. It's time, and I think they're kind of getting that way now with mixing NXT into Raw and SmackDown.
Well, they got to with all the injuries they got right now.
I'm loving it, though.
Right. And
I'm loving it.
And I totally agree. It's just, they have so much talent, and all these people who paid their dues who are coming to the WWE, who are getting moved up, and like Nakamura, Finn Balor, which he will be moving up, Baron Corbin, he's a good heel. Just a lot of more talent. It's
Baron
just,
Corbin's cheesy as fuck.
Yeah,
though.
he is. But he's the best.
He hasn't
he's the
grown
best
on me yet.
heel. No, he's the best heel in NXT.
You haven't. This is the end of days.
Yeah, he needs
Whatever,
to work.
dude.
Yeah,
He reminds me of a bad version of the Ascension.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't even know how worse you can get worse than that. but-
This Mad
Right.
Max character that he has on, it's
even-
so gay.
You even watch the TV
I'm sorry,
show,
it's not
yeah.
gay. It's terrible. I shouldn't say gay.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, my favorite NXT person that's come up so far, I should say, people, is Anzo and Cash.
I'm very excited about that because they
Soft.
definitely,
Yeah,
soft.
they're tearing it up. The crowd loves them. I mean,
They probably have.
They're starting to grow on me too.
Yeah.
They probably have the best. Well, Enzo Amore has probably the best mic skills out with anybody, I think, right now.
yeah, their skill set isn't really all that impressive.
But their mic
But
skills.
seeing them come on and talk shit before the match is well worth it. you
Oh,
know?
absolutely, and I think that's their selling point.
And you know what? Not to get away from WrestleMania, but they're having that tag team thing. Who do you think's gonna win the tag team face New Day?
Oh, God.
Tag team tourney.
Like I've told you before, I was very surprised that even the Vaudevillains are in this. But
You've got Anzo and Cass going up against the Dudley Boys. I think they're gonna make it they're gonna beat the Dudley Boys.
The way they were talking to the Dudley Boys on Monday Night Raw this week, it was pretty funny. Because, like I said, they came off pretty cheesy to me at first, but when they were spouting off against the Dudley Boys this week, I was like, man, they're starting to grow on me a little bit.
And then the Usos face
the Vaudevillains.
I can. The Usos have been getting screwed lately.
That's fine.
Right.
I like the Usos.
I like the Usos.
They're okay.
They have been getting screwed a lot lately. But I have to agree with both of you that I really think that Enzo
I think it's
and,
gonna come down to the two NXT tag teams.
Yeah, because they're.
I would say the Usos and then Enzo and Cash are going to kind of. I'm split between those two right now.
But I mean, my thing is like, if they wanted to put the strap on the Usos, they would have done it back at Survivor Series. I mean, so I really think it's going to come down to the NXT teams, and they're going to push. I really think they're going to push Anzo and Cass.
And like I think I just mentioned recently, they're challenging next week for the tag team titles against our boys, which is American Alpha, who's on NXT, who is absolutely amazing. But
they're not going to win that.
They're not going to win that, so I think they're going to give them the number
as
one
much as
title shot.
that's a babyface versus babyface match. So they're not going to switch the
So
title.
I think they'll move them up to get the number one contender spot.
I think they'll push an NXT tag team to face the New Day, but I think the New Day is starting to draw to the crowd as a face.
Yeah, they've turned face.
I think the New Day's going to retain, to be honest. But
yeah, they're
that's
not losing
without
the title.
them pushing an NXT tag team up there.
They're revamping the tag team roster
a lot more.
So, and they're really pushing tag team more. And I have no problem with that. I like the tag team matches. And New Day's funny when they come out.
It's
Budios.
hit. Yeah, it's hit. Now the Budios is funny to me, but it's hit and miss. Sometimes it's really funny. Sometimes it's just like
their WrestleMania entrance was awesome.
Yeah,
when they came out,
yeah,
the Dragon Ball Z
yeah,
gear,
yeah. If you ever watch Dragon Ball
box.
Z, they're a big fan. Well, Xavier was
Rob,
a
you
big fan
would've-
of Dragon Ball Z.
you
Oh, I
loved
loved
that,
it. I was
didn't
like,
you?
they're
Came
Super
out Dragon
Saiyans.
Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I
I
liked
noticed your
it.
shoulder
and
when they came out. Like, look at what they're wearing.
I was like, yeah.
I don't even like Dragon Ball Z, and I liked it. I thought it was
there you
cool.
go.
People were
see?
talking about that on social
Even
media.
Vince McMahon
afterward.
gave them a thumbs up and smiled and walked away from them.
Yeah.
Just acknowledging their outfit.
Okay, so what's your favorite moment? Not match necessarily, but moment.
I think the obvious answer is when Shane McMahon jumped 20 feet down from that steel cage.
That's your favorite moment.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell you my favorite moment. When the Legion, or what are they called? League of Nations. Well, I don't always want to call them Legion of Nations, but
Right.
League of Nations says nobody can beat all four of us or whatever, and you hear Shawn Michaels' music come on, and then
Glass break.
Cactus Jack comes out, and then the glass breaks, and we're like, holy shit.
It's Stone Cold Steve
Stone
Austin.
Cold comes out, and there's Sweet Chin music's going around, you know.
Mandible Claw.
The Mandible
going
Claw's
around. With
going
Mr.
around.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sacco.
Mr. Sacco,
But most importantly, there's stunners being handed out everywhere, all
Left
over the
and
place. And, you know, they get up, and the New Day thinks that they're cool, and they're trying to get Stone Cold to dance with him, and he looks like he's going to start dancing, and then he flips Xavier off and gives him the stunner.
Gives the stunner. Then he calls out for his own personalized beer, which he just starts handing him down and drinking it. So
what is that? Broken Skull IPA?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
showing it off.
We're going to have to buy some of that and try it.
I'm going to order some for the group, and I'll get some for you guys, and we'll have to sit down and try it.
Yeah.
In a future podcast.
I'm not an
or something.
IPA person, but I'm going to damn sure drink that shit just for Stone Cold.
Yeah, Stone Cold knows his beer, so I'll trust in Stone Cold.
Just don't slam that shit down and cause a mess like Stone Cold does.
Yeah,
I'm going to pour it all over me.
Yeah.
man.
Just
Right, in the
drink it
hot
like
summer.
Stone Cold does.
I'm going to order an Austin 316 shirt just for that moment.
We should. I am doing.
We need to get a
it.
picture of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would say my favorite moment is it's actually kind of two is when Mick Foley and Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold came out, and then also when Shane McMahon jumped from the.
It's funny.
cellar.
When Shane McMahon jumped, there was 4 of us. Greg's not here for whatever reason. I don't know why I didn't think to invite Greg. My bad. But we all, like, as soon as he jumped, we were like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, we all stood up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you just don't think somebody going at the top willingly
And
to
to get
jump down.
a reaction out of adults like that
Right.
is one thing, you know.
And if you check it out, I mean, they're sitting there chanting, "Please don't die."
Yeah.
By the way, so
I thought that was really cool, him coming out with his kids. And
Yeah.
they did a really good job with that match.
absolutely.
So, let's move on. Since we've got all of our favorite moments out of the way, top 3 matches. What are your top 3 matches? Star, go.
Man, I think the Shane McMahon Undertaker match was clearly my favorite. That was just hands down probably the best match of the night. Number 2 would have to be the main event, Roman Reigns and Triple H.
You liked it, huh?
Yeah, it was all right. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it lasted, 20, 30 minutes or so?
Yeah, I think they said it was one of the longest main event matches or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably without any stipulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's pretty good. I don't know.
So
Third?
you got to have a third. You have
What
to
other
have a
matches
third.
were there? I mean,
Well, you
you
had
talk
the-
about the Divas match.
you
That
had
Divas
the-
match is probably number 3 for me. Just
Okay.
because it was nice seeing all the scantily clad women out there.
Scantily
It was like,
clad.
6 on 6? I mean, that was crazy, though.
No, that's
No.
the triple threat.
That was the trip. That was
Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte.
Yeah.
are
yeah.
you saying the women's tag?
Yeah,
so,
that was it. Yeah, that was
so the
good.
women's title match is
Yeah.
yours. Okay.
That was a good one.
Go ahead, Sir Rob.
I would say probably you have to go with Shane McMahon and the Undertaker. Just a great match, and you really showed if you look at Shane McMahon, he does a lot of mixed martial arts, so he actually does a lot of that in the fight, and it was just really done well. Also, I have to say the triple threat women's title match, just a great match and worked really well together. Sasha Banks, love that woman, so she did a lot of homage to Eddie Guerrero, which was her favorite wrestler, and did a frog splash onto Becky Lynch, and it was just completely awesome. Or I believe it's Charlotte when she was in the figure 4, but and I would say the other match you have to see if you're even relatively a fan of ladder matches, you have to watch the Intercontinental ladder match. I forget everybody who's in it, but you have to check out Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who have a rivalry, and they're in that match, and they
go at it.
They go at
Yeah.
it.
I knew we
It's
couldn't get
awesome.
through this without you mentioning your love for Kevin Owens.
I'm a big fan of Kevin Owens.
Kevin
He's a-
Owens is winning me over, dude.
I mean,
He's awesome.
He's the out of shape guy, but by God, he's one of the best heels. Right
I
now,
watched
but-
that. It was like 20 things Kevin Owens did as Kevin's
Kevin Steen, his real name, but
and like the very the top one was him kicking the heckler in the head. He invited this guy was like heckling him, and so he gets on the ropes and pulls it up, and he's like, "Come on in here, then, if you think it's all that, And one of the guys gets up to come in the ring, and he fucking kicks the dude right in the head, and the dude falls out of the.
I mean, he straight soccer kicks him, starts hitting him, and then the guy that Kevin Owens was wrestling with grabbed the guy and started choking him.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it was pretty funny. Yeah, absolutely.
It's good stuff. But yeah, that ladder match was sweet.
I mean, they did some crazy moves, and I think, like we said, that new talent, Sami Zayn, coming up, really did a helpful of it.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want me to give my top 3 now?
And Sleazy, is your turn, sir.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Obviously, the best match of the night was Hell in the Cell. It should have been the main event.
I agree.
I think
Yeah.
Roman and Triple H should have went beforehand, and they should have saved that because I mean that's what everybody was watching it for.
Yeah.
Everybody was rooting for Shane,
Of course,
except for your diehard Undertaker fans, and of course the one dude that they always show that was like really shocked when he got beat a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, just the guy just sitting there in awe, just staring.
So that for me, and then that moment of Shane jumping off, like we said earlier, I mean that had us all on our feet. You know, we were like, "Oh my God, is he really going to pull it off?" And Undertaker slid out of the way right at the last second.
Of course.
I think the only negative I will take away from that match was the whole stipulation, because now that Shane McMahon is now given these week by week takeovers,
it didn't mean anything.
Raw,
Yeah.
Now I've been reading online, people are shaking their heads like, well, why have the stipulation if now everyone's like, oh, whatever. Mr. McMahon's like, oh, go ahead, take over. You want to do it? Fine. Let's see what you got.
It doesn't mean anything now.
Yeah. It's kind of pointless.
It's like you should have just had the Undertaker.
Whole storyline is just they built up for nothing. So now he's just out there doing it, which I'm okay with. I just didn't understand why they had to have that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sleazy. You should have just let Undertaker lose then if you're going to go ahead and do that then.
Right.
Yeah.
No point.
So number two, I want to go with the Divas match for the women's championship, the newly
The
crowned.
Divas now women's championship now.
I mean, all the women looked phenomenal. I didn't like that Sasha came out in pants because I really enjoy seeing Sasha in her little booty cuts.
Yeah, I do too.
But I mean, I get it. She was paying tribute to Eddie Guerrero, and her entrance with Snoop Dogg was pretty cool.
Which is her cousin, by the way.
Yeah.
That was nice.
And then, I mean, Becky Lynch was awesome in it. I mean, it was a really good match. I mean, those girls all know each other, you know.
Becky Lynch is always awesome. Come on now.
But, I mean, really good. But the highlight of the match was waiting for Charlotte's boobs to pop out. Because that
we were sitting there just counting it down.
Yeah, I was.
Wait.
And I was actually looking for pictures online, but I couldn't find any.
I was very surprised you didn't find any because I figured someone might have found
I mean, that top was just so loose, and she kept like adjusting it, and it was just like she even knew something was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like it was going to fall right apart, actually. It was a really bad stitch job.
But she looked phenomenal. I really loved her.
I thought they all three did. Yeah,
her entrance was
Yes.
really cool, coming out in the robe. And I guess they said that was one of her dad's old robes.
Some of the fabric was from her dad's old robe, and they just custom made it with
Yeah.
her.
Yeah,
He wore at
That's
WrestleMania,
cool.
his last WrestleMania he was ever at.
Yeah, and they were like really. She just looked really cool coming out that way, and I mean they did a good job with everybody's pyro. I mean it was a great finish, I thought. But,
Very.
that match had me entertained in and out. You know, normally I would pick the Jericho AJ Styles match, but I've already seen that match 3 or 4 times.
3 times. So
And honestly, I thought the match that they had at the last pay-per-view, Fastlane, was way better than that match.
Yeah, it was way better.
Yeah. I mean, this one was just kind of like, why? I don't get where they're going with it.
There's no point to it, like I've discussed with
But
you.
I love that Jericho's back to being a heel now.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't understand why they did it with AJ
Jericho
Y2 AJ thing.
Yeah,
T-shirts
I wanted
and everything.
Yeah, I don't get making
and now
T-shirts.
It's all done.
Yeah, they made T-shirts and they were tag team for like 3 weeks, and all of a sudden he's
It's
like
that.
turning against
And then
AJ.
he just decided to turn heel. I don't know what direction they want to go with that, but that would have been awesome. But I think they just want to elevate AJ Styles a little bit.
Even though he's going to lose his title match at
Roman Reigns against
what's this next payback?
Yeah, payback.
So my third top match, WrestleMania, is the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Woo woo woo.
Yeah, who would have thought Zack Ryder was coming out?
Did not see that coming.
That was a big shocker. That was.
Shocker.
I think that was the first time
Dude,
we all stood up like, what?
When the Miz got up on the ladder and he's like smiling, we were all like, "Motherfucker!"
Not this guy.
Like, this dude sucks. Like, why are they still pushing him? Like, he should be gone. And what happens? Zack Ryder runs up and pushes him off and grabs the belt, and like that was awesome.
Absolutely.
And I mean, not to mention some of the shit they did, like Sami Zayn hitting Kevin Owens with the DDT through the ropes.
Yeah.
Where he runs and jumps through the turnbuckles.
Yeah.
Like that was sweet.
Which before that he jumped through the ladder with a senton and knocked all the guys and slid and did it.
And then who's the other Lucha Dragon?
Sin Cara.
When he flipped off and landed through one of the ladders outside of the
Did he do that through the ropes too? I thought
he was on the ladder and he got pushed out and he did a crossbody onto Stardust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
put Stardust through the
ladder.
Why was Stardust in that match, by the way?
I don't know.
Like I think they were just like, we have to put something together. There's nobody left.
Right. Yeah.
But
I think they were trying to push Neville, but then he got an injury, and I think he was supposed to be like in that match.
I think Neville was supposed to win that.
Yeah,
to be honest with you,
yeah. But
Neville was sweet. Could you imagine seeing him doing the red arrow off the top of the ladder?
He would have done the red arrow off the top
yeah.
ladder. Oh, fun! I just dream about that because it's so awesome.
Hopefully we
You
get to
dream
see
about
him.
that and Kevin Owens.
That's
Don't
right.
lie.
And if you go watch that ladder match, he does a 5-star frog splash onto Sami Zayn on a ladder on the ropes.
By the way, he looked dead at the end of that match. Like he was not moving.
Yeah, he got a tiger suplex from Sami Zayn in through the ladder, which it looked like he broke his neck, but he did not move for a long while.
He was laid out on the outside of the ring for
They
a
say
while.
those ladder matches are rough on those
They
guys.
say they'll take years
I'll
off
bet.
of your career.
Yeah. All the cuts and bruises that they get from that.
Those
I
may
remember
be
we
light,
watched-
like 10-pound, 5-pound aluminum ladders.
Yeah,
Man,
I remember we
those
watched
things
the
hurt.
old ladder match with Jericho and Shawn Michaels, and he got busted out two of his teeth. Like in
Oh
that
yeah,
match.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Okay, so what's your least favorite moment of WrestleMania?
Well, for me, it was that whole Rock sequence. I think that was just way unnecessary. The whole thing when he came out, like his entrance was pretty badass, but it was just so completely unnecessary for him to come out and do the whole thing before the Roman Reigns Triple H match. I thought it was just so long and drawn out. I just tried to forget most of that if I could.
And it really wasn't even like a real match. Like they embarrassed the one dude. And,
Eric Rowan.
I mean, they should have just brought Adam Rose out there for God's sakes. You know,
Yeah.
he's a better guy to get a 6-second win off of.
Yeah, it was sweet that Rock came out, but just, I mean, it was just, I thought it was not necessary. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I have to agree with Death Star. It's just, it's love seeing The Rock come out and do this little thing, but he came out with some kind of like flamethrower, lighting his name on fire, and walking around. It's just like it was pointless. He should have just came to the ring, done his little announcement, and then he had his little 6-second match, and then
that was it, wasn't it?
yeah. He basically gave the guy rock bottom and pinned him.
Was it against the entire Wyatt family, or was it just against Eric Rowan?
It was just Eric Rowan, and then they came out like they're going to do something, and John Cena, of course, had to
John
make his
Cena
appearance.
comes out and helps him.
Yeah, that's right.
He's not even really
Clear to wrestle.
Yeah,
because he wasn't even on Monday Night Raw the next night. And most of the people are after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
well, he got an AA in at WrestleMania.
Yeah, so apparently he can pick up 300 pounds at least.
Yeah.
He can do the AA, so.
Can't wait till he comes back.
I'm kind of torn because I don't know. I guess I really can't say that the Andre Giant Royal Rumble was bad, but it wasn't what I expected.
Yeah.
The Rock thing just didn't come off very well. I mean, it was nice seeing The Rock talk shit. That's always fun.
That's always fun.
But I'm just so tired of the Wyatts. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, the draw isn't there with me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we've been to a live show, and their entrance is amazing, but it's just, I don't know what they're trying to do with them. Make them face, make them.
They have no idea what they want to do with them.
Yeah, it's just coming off not well.
Well, Bray Wyatt keeps getting injured, so maybe we'll.
Yeah, he's been getting injured.
He keeps getting injured. They may break him up or something. I don't know.
They
He got injured again recently.
Yeah.
They may just tell him to go away.
Right, and then the other guy, Luke Harper, he had a torn ACL, so he's out. So that's why if you haven't seen him walking around, because he's out. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm just not, like I said, I'm not sure what they're doing with him, but it's just getting annoying.
Yeah,
No
it did.
point.
It just.
Yeah.
By the way, what did you guys think of the Andre the Giant Royal Rumble?
It was okay. I just don't see the point of Shaq coming out. It just didn't appeal to me.
I like Shaq coming out.
It was okay.
It was cool, but it was one of those little lame
Yeah.
celebrity name drops.
That was a hookup to Shaq.
Yeah,
so
Like
that's
Shaq's like,
all
man,
it
I really
was.
want to wrestle, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, here you go.
yeah. You get
Yeah.
you get your. Like,
It was cool seeing
3
him
minutes.
and Big Show chokeslam. I don't even know who it was.
I think
It
it
was,
was it
Kane.
Kane, I
It was,
think?
yeah,
Yeah.
Kane.
Yeah, that was cool.
And it was amazing to see how big Shaq is next to Big Show, because he's like, it looks like he's almost taller than Big Show, almost like an inch.
Yeah,
And it's just
yeah.
amazing how big that guy is.
Shaq's. Hey, they don't call him Diesel for nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true.
So,
But I mean, it was okay. But I was
the
but,
winner kind of surprised
Yeah,
me.
I
which you
wasn't
did
sure about
call,
Baron
by the way,
Corbin at
Sleazy.
all, yeah.
You did pick Baron Corbin to win it.
I called
was
it like halfway through the
You're like,
match.
Baron
I was
Corbin.
like,
Yeah, you
Baron
did. I was
Corbin's
like,
gonna
no.
win it.
I was
Can't
like,
be.
and then you see him run over and flip over Kane. I'm like, he did. He
I
won.
can't-
He pulled
I
that
couldn't believe
Jericho
that.
shit where he was just laying down in the ring forever,
like-
and I
like
was
10
like,
minutes,
he's just
20
gonna get up
minutes.
and throw him out.
Yeah.
And he did. So we got the least favorite moment out of the way. So, I mean, the only thing really left to talk about is Roman Reigns versus Triple H, the main event. The big draw that they built up forever.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
Well, I thought it was good. Like I said, it was one of my top 3 matches. It went pretty darn well. I liked some of the fight scenes and just some of the moves that they made. But
I'll tell you what I really enjoyed was the promo they cut before the match started with Avenged Sevenfold playing "Hail to the King."
Yeah, that's awesome.
They were playing like all their
I did not like
confrontations.
Stephanie McMahon doing the whole.
The
announcing,
worst
though.
part of that was like everybody talks about. That was the best entrance Triple H has ever done.
No.
Number one, no. Number two, last year was the best entrance he's ever done.
Oh, with the Terminator.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
And then I'm going to tell you why the entrance was so terrible. Number one, Stephanie McMahon.
She shouldn't be allowed to talk.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you the thing with all the whatever the fuck those people were with the belts,
Right,
sheep
yeah.
or whatever you want to
It's
call
like some
them.
Mad Max looking shit or whatever.
Yeah,
they're
I
trying to
just
do.
didn't like it. Maybe it's because I hate Mad Max.
It just looked more
I
like
think
kind of
it's
like demon
awful.
stuff. Yeah, it looked like more like demon kind of
But
like. kind of
okay,
stuff.
and then when Triple H is coming out, he almost busts his ass. I don't think a lot of people seen that,
Yeah.
but he
Really?
slipped and almost fell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think off the water. 'Cause
Yeah.
he came out with the water. He
And
always
then-
comes out with that water bottle.
You know, it's bad enough that people already hate Stephanie McMahon, but then you're like calling people peasants and shit, and like
Yeah.
acting like you're somebody that you're not, and it was just stupid.
Yeah.
It didn't come off well, and they should have never done it. And I mean, they should have just went for some grand stage thing that he normally does, where he actually looks like a king.
Right.
But instead, they had Stephanie McMahon play some bitch queen, you know,
And she
And-
talked for way too long.
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like I don't even know how she memorized all that shit. To be honest with you.
Looked like she had a microphone, so
Yeah, she's
back
probably
to
being
her.
told what to say.
Yeah, here,
By
say this
daddy.
now.
Exactly.
Yeah, Vince was probably telling her what to say.
Hey, baby girl, I need you to say this for me, okay?
But I mean, overall, yeah, the match was good. I thought. A lot of people don't like Roman Reigns. I don't see what the problem is with him. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of good mic skills, but I mean, when they get him in good situations, he's good. Which, you know, this whole Triple H thing, it made Triple H look a lot better. Then they played him as the face, kind of almost.
Absolutely, yeah. Because everybody kept booing Roman Reigns, and they were getting, cheering Triple H every time he would just hurt Roman Reigns anyway. Just kept cheering louder and louder.
It was just weird how it all shaped out towards the end. My biggest complaint's the end of that, because it was just like out of nowhere he spears Stephanie, and then he gets pedigreed and kicks out, and then there's another spear out of nowhere. But I mean, I really wanted to see him Superman punch Stephanie instead of spear her.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
why. Like it's awesome seeing Stephanie get finishers done to her.
Yeah.
Like when Randy Orton RKO'd her, like that was awesome.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was really hoping to see Superman punches, which that brings me back to the whole Shane McMahon Hell in a Cell match. Where was Vince McMahon at for that?
You figured he would come out or
they
do
didn't
something.
do a good job
yeah.
with that. Like
You figured he would come out or do something or be somewhere in that.
they should have had somebody try to interfere or something.
Yeah.
He came out and stopped it
Yeah.
or whatever. But anyways, back to the main event. I mean, I don't know. It was good. I give it props. I think it still should have been flip flopped. But I'm happy Roman Reigns won. I mean, now are they going to let him keep the title for a while? Please do, because I don't want to see
no.
I don't want to see another run like this. He's gonna. Let me tell you something. Roman Reigns, he's gonna be the ass from now on, and you're gonna like it.
He's not a bad guy. He's not a good guy.
He's just
the guy.
the guy, and I love that line.
Yeah. I would say for the main event, it was good, but it's just I agree with you, Sleazy. It's just it should have been flip flop with the Hell in a Cell. All these other good matches leading up to it is kind of blah to me, but yet again, it was a decent match. Stephanie McMahon with her old peasant thing and all that, stupid, no point. Triple H about breaks his ass. He wasn't even decorated up as a king or anything like he usually is.
Yeah,
Just no point. What lackluster ended should have been more Superman punches. I agree with you on that. He should keep that title for a while, because that whole flip flap back and forth and I got robbed and doing that gets kind of annoying. But
you know what I would have loved to have seen, like him Superman punch Triple H like 3 or 4 times, and it takes him 3 or 4 times to get him down on the ground.
just like the old matches, they would take
Yeah.
they need to give somebody 4 or 5 stunners or 4 or 5 pedigrees, and they finally
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they just didn't hype it up good towards the end, like I said. But the match was great other than that,
Yeah, they had some really good moments, and I agree with you as well. Again, even though I agree with you on a lot of things, but still, it's just I like Roman Reigns now. Before I didn't care for him because I don't think they were using him well. But now with his attitude, since he's the champ, it looks like he just wants to beat everybody's ass. So that's why I like him now. And it's just like you said, he's the guy. So
just like we talked about, like he needs to just come out and Superman punch like people.
everybody.
Yeah,
Just lay him
that's
out. Just
awesome.
lay him out and carry his belt off in the sunset. Like, nobody's going to whip my ass. Nobody's going to take my title. And that's what they need to play
Damn
him.
straight.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way to get Roman Reigns over with the fans, I think.
I think whenever time they've done that, or whenever he's messed with the authority, he's done it very well, and people actually enjoyed him.
His best, when the fans actually liked him, was when he had the thing with the League of Nations.
Right.
And because people hate Sheamus more
so
than they
bad.
hate him, so
Yeah.
they're going to root for Roman over Sheamus. I mean,
Well, the League of Nations is going to be breaking up soon anyway. So
Yeah.
since
We've
Bear's
seen-
contract's expiring and all that.
well, they kicked him out already.
Yeah. So,
So
at least won't be seeing that anymore.
it's down to 3, but they've got T-shirts out now for each of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bulgarian Brute and
Pride of Mexico.
the Celtic Warrior.
Yeah.
Del Rio.
Do you think they'll ever turn out Alberto Del Rio face?
He's been faced before.
Yeah.
I liked him better when he had his own ring. I like when he would come out. He had the $1,000 scarf. He'd come out with every high end Bentley coming out. Like he was, the big money guy. Now he's just, I don't know.
I like his feud with John Cena when he had that. And that went on forever for the U.S. title.
And that's the thing I would definitely give John Cena. He does have some great matches, whoever he goes up against.
So, does Roman hold on to the title long enough for Seth Rollins to get back in the picture?
Potentially.
And it's weird. Seth Rollins will be a face when he comes back
that's
because
true.
people want him to have it.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to say where they're going to go with it, but I would definitely like to see Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns start feuding for the title.
I miss the Seth Rollins John Cena feuds.
If you ever
Those
watch
are some
any of
great
those,
matches.
amazing matches.
But I don't know. I'm a little disappointed in the Raw afterwards, just because it's a new season of Raw, and but I'm disappointed. But at the same time, I'm excited to see them mix in the NXT talent.
Right.
So it brings for a new show and new excitement.
Yeah, it's the new blood.
Because
new
there for a
styles.
while, it was the same thing every week. Roman Reigns in a triple threat match versus the League of Nations.
Or X amount of
You
people.
know, or 3-on-1 match, all versus one, I mean. But it was the same thing. It was getting old, and they needed to switch it up and get some more talent in there and push more people.
They're almost kind of having to do that, though, with all the injuries that they've
Yeah, they have
suffered
no
right now.
they have no choice.
And it's hard to say.
Not
if
to
a
they-
bad thing, though.
Not to mention injuries, but suspensions as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Titus O'Neil gets suspended, and then they just handed down 2 more suspensions yesterday. I
Yeah,
think
Adam
really?
Rose and
Adam Rose and the other guy from the Ascension.
yeah,
Oh, see, I didn't
That's
know
right.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
the
that.
other brother,
Performance
from the Ascension.
enhancing,
Yep,
or their wellness program. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it's performance enhancing.
they're
so,
out for 60 days.
yeah,
Yep.
because it was both. I think it was both their second time offense.
Yep.
I'm just kind of curious, who's really pushing for the NXT. If it's actually Vince or if it's actually Triple H. Since
I think
NXT
it's
is
Triple H.
It's gotta be.
Yeah,
But
or
they
even
say
Shane.
it's always Vince's call who gets to come up.
Okay,
So,
got it.
but I mean, well, we've covered everything from WrestleMania to a little bit after WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
So,
Sure did.
thanks guys for doing this.
Thank you. I appreciate you having us
No
on.
problem.
Yeah, maybe we can do this once a month or something. We can
Yeah,
talk
whenever
wrestling.
a big pay-per-view or something.
Yeah, but
or-
after pay-per-view, let's do it.
Yeah.
UFC or
I'm
anything
down.
like that. Yeah.
I'm down. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. And just to let you know, this was brought to you by nerdko.com. Your place for all things nerdy. Get you some cool shirts, some cool accessories. And thanks for listening.